So raw. We do the raw shit over here on the Catch the Sky podcast. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Safe. I got my man T with me. We're here at the Bro Barn in the studio. We got some outdoor time from the warden. And we're in the yard. The prisoners are running the yard. We got dogs without masks. We got flies running lawlessly around.
I am the Lord of the Flies. So, welcome in, everybody. This is the Catch the Sky podcast. You were just hearing the tantalizing voice of my co-host, Safe. I am Sweet Tea. I suppose I'm your guide on this insane journey that we're now all finding ourselves together on. You can find us on social media, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Spotify, basically everywhere by searching for the Catch the Sky podcast. What are we getting into tonight?
We got two options. World War III.
Heating up.
Or we can talk about friendship.
World War III / Civil War. Just war. Just all-out war.
We've always been in a state of war.
Yeah, all-out war. And what with the friendship? Ooh. We could do that.
It's good to be here, T.
Yeah, it's good to see you.
And I mean that.
And I appreciate all of our listeners tuning in as well.
Yes. And just want to say to the listeners, you get all of this for free.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
No, just my time. Our time and effort is all that it costs. No ads, no.
This is our art project. This is our after school project.
Yeah, basically. That's basically, yeah. Yeah, that's it. So we hope you enjoy.
Never before would I imagine two people like you and I connecting as friends.
Well, we didn't at first, right?
You were an acquired taste.
That's what I've been told by a lot of people. You're not the first person to say that. There's been so many people over the course of my life that I've become good friends with who will tell you firsthand without blinking that the first time they met me, they're like, I fucking hated this guy. This dude right here. But then here we are. 152 episodes later. Plus all the archive shit. We've got probably 20 hours in archived footage at this point. So that's
the archives are why I can't run for public office.
If they ever found out, yeah.
You don't want to hear this, America. I'm telling you, world, you don't want to hear any of this. And always shout out to the world. We are worldwide. We've always been a worldwide show. We're trying to accommodate all listeners, and we appreciate and respect all our listeners abroad. Thank you for your service.
Yes. And anybody that listened to our 150th episode can relate to the point that you just made is some people don't want to hear this. They are cool with just, hitting next after the latest reel. So we did hit on that in our 150th episode. So I just wanted to.
This is our long form.
Yeah.
This is our Joe Rogan moment.
Right. So tonight, if you do care to listen and you do care to engage.
I think the train's already left the station, T.
We will be discussing friendship more in depth. What episode was it? You got a friend in tea? Yeah, I want to hear more.
Episode 36. You got a friend in tea. You got a friend in tea.
It works so well.
With a little Randy Newman?
Yeah, it works so well. Yeah.
What's Randy Newman doing these days?
I don't know. I'm sure we can look that up too.
Well, what day is it?
It is June 10th, 2025.
It's hot in Arizona. It's
a Tuesday.
108.
Yeah.
Maybe probably 43, 45 Celsius or something like that.
But it's cool up in here in the Love Shack.
Yeah. 82. We're sitting in 82 degrees with electronics on for some reason. Why is the TV? Why did he turn it on? Just to waste electricity.
And what was episode 47?
Romance?
Romance, yes. Okay.
That one's like our origin story.
Ah, yeah.
So you might have to do 46
Well,
maybe
we also did a
45.
behind the scenes episode on the origin story. So there's origin stories. We have multiple origin stories at this point. We're like the Joker from The Dark Knight. No one really knows what's going on.
But realistically, this could be someone's first time listening. They may not know the whole thing. But yeah, you were quite intolerable. You were extra. Your energy was so extra.
That's kind of how I've always lived my life.
Yeah. You were a wild card.
Wild card. So Charlie and Always Sunny.
That show's still running?
They're about to make a new season.
Unbelievable. Good for them. Hey, we're fans of your work, and we thank you.
Yeah, because they're keeping it real.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things that...
Earlier episodes, really real.
Exactly. That's one of the things that
That was the last show before they started coming for shows.
We'll delve into this more through the episode, but that's one of the things that
No, we won't. We're going to talk about it right now.
Value as a character trait in myself is my willingness to be that real about stuff. You know what I mean? Maybe I don't take social cues well, or there's certain situations where we don't need to talk about this. But then it also begs the question, when is the appropriate time to talk about this? So
I think it's a great time.
Exactly. There's no time like the present. And as we mentioned, people often don't take the time to reflect on this stuff anymore. So part of this art project of ours is using this time as a time to reflect on what we're discussing and how it impacts our lives. Mm-hmm. Don't just listen to us jibber jabber at you for 45 minutes. No, think about how it applies to you.
It's kind of for your entertainment. It's also for your education.
Yeah. We're going to have fun.
No. We're doing this for you.
Yeah. And I mean, for ourselves as well. I'm not going to shy away from that fact.
These are important conversations. You need to have them.
Yeah.
And so you should be doing it too.
Right. We encourage you to do the same. So
hit us up in the comments.
Feel free. Yeah. So, yeah, for me, I guess when I meet new people, I don't know if I always consider, is this the beginning of a new friendship, right? I'm just I try to always continue being myself. I don't change the way I am because I'm meeting somebody new for the first time, I guess, if that makes sense. Because I'm sure, while there's been some growth, you'll still see some similarities to the same person that you met in 2017.
Was it 2017?
Yeah, May 2017. So it's been, 8 years now.
Wow. You know who I don't talk to anymore is Cuzzy. Actually, no. I did send a... Welcome, Aaron Rodgers. 412, what up?
I hit him up and I was like, wow, Rodgers right after gifting Trump a Steelers jersey? I was like, you guys are on a fucking roll at destroying your organization's reputation. All these years built up as the classiest. This is the way to do things. This is old school. We're proper. No nonsense. And here they are, engaged in all the nonsense. And they're engaged in all the nonsense.
Yeah. No, this is how when the Batman movies start. This is it. When Batman shit happens, it's going to happen in Pittsburgh, and all this is going to do is increase the likelihood as we delve further into chaos, which is the World War III part.
Yeah. Which we'll cover in our next episode.
I mean, we're covering it, right? Partially. It's all mixed in.
So when I first meet people, I guess I don't consider it as this the potential beginning of a new friendship. I just continue being myself, and then if it goes anywhere, then I think I give too much of myself right out the gate. Once I start to establish that I'm a friend with this person, I'm kind of just going to be super honest. I am going to communicate my feelings, just all sorts of different things. But I'm also going to be there for them if they need me in any way, shape, or form. That's one of the biggest things. And I know
T's down to ride. T's down to roll.
Yeah. So that's the thing. I've always considered myself a good ride or die, but given more recent events, I've had people tell me that they're not sure if they consider me to be that same person anymore, right? So on a recent excursion, a friend that was visiting me from out of town got to the point where they're threatening me. You know, they want to start a fight, whatever, while we're out on a road trip. And I'm like, look, man, like, I'm not going to fucking do this. That's a hard line for me. But by establishing that hard line, I'm also like just giving that person the axe right then and there. So like, you're not going to get a ride from me now. You can figure that out for yourself and accept the outcome of your behavior. And maybe this is because of the violence bias that I have in my life. Every single member of my immediate family has harmed me physically in some form, which isn't like really cool. Every single one. You know what I mean? That sucks.
Yeah, but we all got the stick, T. Come on.
My sister stabbed me with a pencil.
Still a wound.
There's
For those who can't see, he's just examining his body.
Yeah, there's you can see the pencil tip in my thigh. I think
it's poking out. Put that back in.
Yeah, right. I forget. It's been a while since I've looked for it, so maybe I need to shave my leg. Wow, hairy. Anyway, yeah. There's a difference between getting into a sibling.
The hair looks good, by the way.
Thank you. Yeah. Appreciate it. Rosemary oil. And some castor oil. We're mixing
I hear a lot of good things about castor oil.
Each day we
wellness community shit. That's Aaron Rodgers shit right there.
Well, yeah, I need to try and start treating myself a little bit better here. I'm not getting any younger. So
how old are you?
34. Be 35 soon.
Happy birthday.
Thanks. Not that soon. But so for me, I've had a number of people in my family and people I don't even know.
I threw a dart at my sister.
You threw a dart at your sister? Did you hit her?
Yeah.
Did it bleed?
Yeah.
See, that's not cool. But I think throwing an object, because I had like one time somebody, in my family threw a phone book at me and it yeah, exactly. Right. Like, what the fuck?
Yellow pages or white pages?
Both. We had them both in one thing. So it was pretty hefty. And it caught me like right at the corner of my eye, and it didn't like really hurt or anything. But a few moments later, I'm like, oh my God, my eye is burning because blood is pouring out of this wound. Like, it just like ripped my skin. Like, it didn't really like cut me. It just like ripped it. And so, yeah.
Basically a paper brick for the young people.
So, fuck. Yeah. So with that history in mind, mm-hmm. I'm not going to tolerate somebody that I'm hosting threatening me and trying to get upset with me. I mean, regardless of how we got there, you can speak on behalf of this, having lived together. There were times that we'd probably rather not revisit, but was I ever one to threaten anybody with violence or try to break shit or like get? I mean, I could get angry if somebody is angry with me. I can match that energy, but the violence aspect of something. And it's ironic because anybody that knows me from playing hockey will speak the complete opposite. Well, I was a dick on the ice. Like, I would fuck people up. You know what I mean? But like in my personal life or like out in public, that's not appropriate. Which then begs the question, how appropriate is it in a beer league hockey game or whatever? But here nor there.
But speaking of hockey, Stanley Cup going on right now. Edmonton Panthers, Florida. Mar-a-Lago really is what I'm going to call them. but they're taking on the Canadians, so it's the battle for the soul.
Oilers. They're taking on the Oilers.
It's USA versus Canada, just all over. Just in such the political context that it is. They play in Sunrise, Florida, which is just outside of Fort Lauderdale, south of Fort Lauderdale. Mar-a-Lago is just north of Fort Lauderdale, not too far away.
Gotcha.
So that kind of gives you an idea of maybe if I'm politicizing, and obviously there's really no connection other than geographic, but I think the Panthers wear red as a color, so that's like that's the representation of red or Republican or MAGA, and then Edmonton's blue, and they're Canadians and they're more liberal, and they're having this spat right now.
Reach, but nah, I get what you're saying
because we're in trade wars.
Yeah, no, I understand.
We're in trade wars, and so nothing would make Canada happier than to stick it to the U.S. in any shape or form.
I'm pulling for the Oilers because McDavid played his junior years in my hometown.
Yes.
So yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. I got some McDavid love too.
Yeah.
I'm rooting for the Oilers as well.
Yeah.
But
We'll
Game
see.
3 was a real slugfest.
Mm-hmm.
And so the violence spilled over.
Yeah.
Again, the World War III aspect. Maybe it is a reach, but I think there's
a yeah. And we can cover that more in our
I don't want to. I got excited about the NHL playoffs.
Oh yeah.
So thank you for that was actually as a connection here. That was part of our camaraderie where we built that up over Penguins hockey.
Yeah, because they were in the playoffs. They won the cup that year.
You were out here for the Pirates game, and that's when I was like,
right?
Okay.
Yeah, they won the cup that year.
Yeah.
2017.
Because he said you just needed some out time.
Yeah.
Just get out of. You were bigger than Pennsylvania.
Yeah, it's terrible. It was horrible. And look at me now. I'm living here.
You're a big fish in this big pond.
I like to think so. But yeah, it's a real big pond now. But
we're like 5+ million here.
Yeah, that was one of the things. I brought my jersey out that year, that Lemieux jersey, that yellow Lemieux jersey. And I had long hair. I had like a ponytail. Yeah. Everything was crazy. Those were wild times.
Yeah. So we always had hockey. And you're a former hockey player and used to hit the shit out of people. Mm-hmm. And I never sensed you were violent, but I always knew that if it got violent, it wasn't going to go well.
Precisely.
Yeah.
And that's the aura I like to maintain. And that's also why I believe that.
And one of my friends, when he shook your hand, like he knew instantly your power.
Yeah. So I'm happy that things didn't get violent with somebody that I used to consider a friend, because I do know it's funny because that same friend and myself used to talk about it when we worked together. Mm-hmm. We were talking about having the killer instinct. I joked about having the killer instinct.
Yeah.
I was like, it's funny because like, I might not be, as bulky as you guys, but I maintain the switch in the off position for a reason. I will not, I don't need to glamorize what happens when that switch gets flipped. You know what I mean? And I've never really had to. Like, even like that's what sucks. I mentioned people outside my family harming me. Anybody who knows me has like the scar on my head.
It's hardly noticeable. Have you been putting the castor oil on that?
No, I haven't. Maybe I should. But you had a bottle broken on my fucking face, and I didn't even get
Again, you're extra.
But I didn't even get a chance to swing on the person because they came at I wasn't engaged with them. You know what I'm saying? This was a
sneak attack.
Yeah. It was fucking pick your random WWE wrestler with the steel chair. Just smashed me. That's literally what it was like. But if we can, if I can actually use that night as a segue back into what we were talking about, I was with at least 3, maybe 4 people that at the time I considered pretty close friends. And by the time I was being loaded into the back of an ambulance, because it was like, I didn't just have a bottle broken on my head. I was bleeding like a lot. So much so that a doctor who was just out having a fun night came outside to check on me because they just like threw me out on the sidewalk, and she was like, you can't leave him here like this. Mm-hmm. And the bouncer was like, it's not our problem. She's like, no, you have to go get clean rags right now. And he's like, we're not, they're like $2 or something. And she's just like, no, I'm a doctor. And unless you want a fucking lawsuit on your hands, you're going to do exactly what I tell you to do right fucking now. And I can't remember her name because I had alcohol and head trauma. Yeah. But she was someone literally
advocated
like
for you.
Guardian angel. Yeah. Somebody, a complete stranger advocated for me while my alleged friends filmed it and posted it to their Snapchat stories.
I would have done that too, but I would have called in for help.
You would have posted your friend being bleeding out on the phone.
I would be documenting to a point, like obviously there's a time for action, but
would you have then posted it to your social media stories for everybody to see?
I've been thinking about that, T, about what is acceptable social media content.
If you just watched a friend get hurt, would you post them being hurt?
Depends on the context. What happened before?
Somebody had a bottle smashed on their face and now they're literally blood's pouring out of their face. That's all the context that any viewer might get. And remember, context isn't something people consider on social media. They're just viewing violence in somebody at one of the lowest points. This is one of the things, like when I talk about car accidents, everybody slows down to look at car accidents, right? Why? Put yourself in that person's position. You just got into a car accident, whether it's your fault or not.
I've already slowed down to 15. I can take a peek.
Right. Well, no, but that's the problem is everybody's doing that. Instead of keeping the flow of traffic moving, now we're potentially risking another accident. So put yourself in the position of the person who's just in an accident. Yeah. Do you want a bunch of people driving by, staring at you, making you feel uncomfortable while you're having a bad time? No.
That's where it sucks. But
yeah, that's where it sucks.
If it's more something serious like what the Israelis are doing, and they're confiscating cameras so their actions aren't caught on tape. They aren't caught on video.
Well, yeah. That's
war crimes.
Right. That's
World War III.
Different. Yeah, World War III. Yeah, that's the World War III episode. But
people are videotaping injustice potentially, and that's where the
The taping didn't start until I was just on the ground outside on the sidewalk bleeding.
Were they even there around you?
When it happened?
Yeah.
Yeah. So they saw that, and then they followed me outside and thought it would be a good idea to record me bleeding on the ground.
And do you remember if they were arguing or making a fuss over your situation?
They left.
What do you mean they left?
They left. They went home.
They walked away from the whole situation as well?
Yes.
So this place just threw you out like a piece of garbage?
Yes.
Jesus Christ.
And then my
context does matter, T.
So
okay. So these people.
Yeah. So
what's your relationship with them?
We'd been friends for several years. I just attended one of their weddings.
Jesus. You want to call them out by name?
So no. And
do you still talk to this person?
I don't talk to that person. I haven't talked to another one of those individuals in a very long time. But one of the other ones lived with me for a while, and I hardly talked to that person.
What would you say to them if they were listening?
I would just see how they're doing. That's all. It would be cool to maybe have it. Having found out after the fact that I had helped them kind of out of a bad position, it would have been nice to hear some sort of thank you or whatever, but I'm not expecting that. That's okay. By them telling me that things weren't the way they were at first, I think that was probably enough for them. It was probably uncomfortable even to admit that. So whatever.
Acknowledgement is important. Yeah.
Yeah. But so
taking ownership, being responsible and accountable for the emotion.
Yeah. So anyway, but that's not a big deal. But it was hard for me to really consider any of them friends for much longer after that, because I know I wouldn't do that. And I know this is coming from somebody that just, for lack of a better term, left a friend behind. And that's not something like I'm proud to admit, but violence isn't something that like I tolerate. You know what I mean? And I don't think anybody should. Like, why would you want somebody in your life that is trying to hurt you? That's not what a friend should do. You know what I mean? Like, if somebody really loves you and wants your, like, you know, if we're going back to well-being, if they want you to prosper, they wouldn't want to hurt you. I don't understand that. Like, that's just common sense. They wouldn't. Why would they try to hurt you? Because think of all the bad things that could come from that. How is that helping somebody prosper?
I try to have. I put the empathy shoe on here and just like try to even delve into what someone's mindset might be to do that, to kind of cut you off as an individual from their life, to just be done with you, to the point where they're just like, that's his fucking problem.
Yeah,
I don't want to deal with him anymore.
That's what I did.
Yeah, I think the bottle thing, that's terrible. I think you stick around and you look out for the well-being of the people, and
just make sure your friend gets to the hospital.
And that's like, you know, as you shared, that is messed up. That is a real fucked up thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was in the hospital alone. And then the universe, with its funny little sense of humor, decided, all right, your friend's bailed on you. You're alone. So your nurse this evening is going to be the girl with whom you both lost your virginity. We told you it was going to be entertaining, folks. So I'm sitting there bleeding out of my fucking head after getting some stitches and stuff. And yeah, the girl, I took her virginity. She took mine. Was my nurse that evening. And ultimately, the bartender from the bar is my, for lack of a better term, aunt's daughter-in-law. So she called
in-law, he says.
She called my aunt at like 4 a.m. and was like, do you know what's going on with T? And she was like, oh my God, no, what? My aunt. So I was living in my hometown where my parents and everybody else, my aunt was the one who came and picked me up at the hospital. She got woken up in the middle of the night to come pick me up at the hospital. Like, how fucked up is that? And then you start to understand.
Family member?
Yes, yeah, it's a family member.
Maybe that's why. I don't know if there's some rules about that.
Oh, no. But it begs the question, like, why, you know, it's whatever.
How old were you?
20-something. Did I have this scar yet?
No. I want to say this was
2018. Yeah. It happened after. Yeah, you knew me pre-scar.
Yes. I did. Insane.
Yeah.
You got laid out of this whole deal? So what's the problem? What are you complaining about?
I didn't get laid out of this whole deal. She didn't fuck me again.
She got it one time and that was it?
No.
Did you have to pay the hospital bill?
We hooked up when we were, you know, in high school multiple times, right? She just happened to be my nurse that evening. She didn't give me the Florence Nightingale treatment.
Oh.
There was nothing like that.
All right.
And no, I didn't have to pay the hospital bill. That was all covered in the plea deal. And I suppose that's one thing.
Did they ever find the person who did it?
Oh yeah, that was easy. So that I guess that's one thing.
What's their deal?
I don't know. Works at Walmart or something now.
Did they ever say why?
I tossed water on his girlfriend.
Did you?
Yeah.
Oh. All right. So imagine yourself. You're in a bar.
I'm in a bar with 4 chicks.
Probably already having a drink or two.
I was so annihilated that I was already drinking water because I was like, whoa. We need to slow this down. Not just stop drinking. We need to like get fluids in here.
Okay.
So that's how
drunk I was. Trying to be responsible after you've, yeah.
Yeah. So I knew I was fucked up, you know.
How much did you put in?
What, drinking?
Yeah.
I have no idea. I don't keep track of that stuff.
Were you crossfaded?
I was just fucked up enough to know that I need to start drinking water. So I go back to the chicks. We're dancing,
mentally incapacitated,
and this woman approaches my friend, mind you, the friend that lives out of state, the one that got married recently, approaches her this woman is more fucked up than I am. And she's like, fuck you trying to fuck my man. You know, you fucking bitch. You fucking did it. Fuck you. Fucking. I'm going to fucking kill you. So she cocks back. Like she's going to punch my friend in the face. Like she's going for it. She's cocked. Like I saw the whole thing coming. So
telegraphed it.
Yeah. So what am I going to do? Grab a woman up in the middle of a fucking bar? That's going to come off, again, context. Everybody's just going to see some man manhandling literally a woman. That's not going to go over well.
Right.
But again, my fucked up brain is not having a great time processing any of this. So the best option that it came up with was throw water on it.
Okay.
Because like
did you get her good?
Oh yeah, I drenched her.
Right in the face.
Yeah. But again, it's water. You know what I'm saying? Like I didn't throw alcohol in her eyes. Like
it phases people.
It does, but that's all it's supposed to do. Yeah. So I was like, fucking, because I'm not trying to. Again, back to the violence thing. I'm not trying to see my friend get punched in the face. And how are we going to explain that? And then all of a sudden,
dude puts a bottle over your head
with the steel chair. Yeah, fucking. But here's the thing: did he
mutter anything anti-Semitic?
He wasn't by like her side or anything. He came from like the other side of the we were outside, but he wasn't near her. There was no prior context that would tell you that man is dating that woman. There was nothing.
Sure.
So there were several people in between them.
Yeah. And
then all of a sudden this random man is jumping out and breaking his bottle over it. So that didn't. Yeah. So whatever.
So he has that testosterone. I gotta my lady's honor can't be disparaged.
Yeah,
that's the mindset of this human being.
Right.
Okay.
So whatever.
Make a call, America. Honestly.
Drop a comment.
What do you think?
Make the call, America.
Let's vote on.
Oh, that was great. That was so.
Should we stop there?
Right, just end the episode.
We'll see you next week.
Weren't they supposed to talk about friendship?
No, we did. We talked about our friendship.
But I want to delve more into
which is why I can ask these questions.
Right. Yeah, and I'm willing to answer them so freely. But that's where I want to delve into more of. So we've kind of talked about what makes people not friends, you know what I mean? Abandoning them after violence has occurred or threatening to bring violence into their life. And it's mostly just focused on violence, but there's other unhealthy contributors.
We're a violent culture, T.
I understand that, and I'm hoping that people can try to overcome their need for that. Rise Against actually has a song about this. It's called The Violence, and the chorus goes, "Are we not good enough? Are we not brave enough? Is the violence in our nature just an image of our maker?"
Say it again. Say it again, T.
Well, there's more. It goes. It kind of repeats. Are we not good enough? Are we not brave enough to become something greater than the violence in our nature? So is it
the violence in our nature?
Right. But the first part.
Can't we evolve and not be violent?
The first part. So I'll repeat that. Yeah. Are we not good enough? Are we not brave enough? Is the violence in our nature just the image of our maker? Are we not good enough? Are we not brave enough to become something greater than the violence in our nature? So it literally in that chorus begs the question, if we're made in the image of God and violence is part of us, is our God not a violent God? It questions that immediately. So if God is perfect and we are created in his image, then is he perfect? And ultimately, can we break out of that cycle? Can we choose to not be violent as a whole?
When did you learn to stop being violent?
I've had a number of things in my life that have contributed to that. I have done things that I'm not happy to admit. right, to other people. I have exercised. I've done enough to scare people. I don't think I've.
Yeah, I know that.
So that was.
Also, thank you for not hitting me.
Yeah, right? Well, see, that's the thing I think people might expect first. I'm not going to hit you. I am going to.
It's also part of your animal shield as well.
Yeah.
They really test your emotional boundaries.
Yeah. Yeah. So.
You know your limits. You're a mentally competent human being.
I try to.
Yeah.
It's one of the biggest struggles in my life.
You're actually quite a specimen.
Yeah.
It's actually quite remarkable. It's part of the appeal. Honestly, it is part of the appeal.
It's, yeah.
You guys are just built differently over there.
Well, yeah.
I don't know if it's an Erie, Pennsylvania thing.
I don't know. I think I've just conditioned myself like this.
You're a hockey player.
Yeah. So.
You're a fucking hockey player.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's a violent sport.
And I think I reserve my violence for that, and it's not appropriate in my personal life. But
it's a beautifully violent sport.
Right. Just make this a violence episode.
Mm-hmm.
Pivot.
World War III.
right. Leading us into our next episode.
I've always believed sports are a metaphor for life, right? And they're for war, and they're for values and even camaraderie. You know, it's a way they represent all these good things. That's what makes them so beautiful. That's what makes Aaron Rodgers going to Pittsburgh that much more hilarious.
So, yeah, I think I liked the camaraderie of that, and I believe we're supposed to be a social species. I believe we're supposed to interact with one another, right? If we're not so different from monkeys, then people not having friends leads to more harm than good. That's why they put people in solitary confinement, right? Even in prison.
Hold on, I spaced out for a second.
Friends are important. We're a social species.
Sun's about to set.
It's beautiful. But we are a social species.
Yes. We would die without isolation
is bad.
Does something to a human, like it really tests your mettle.
Right.
Your mental mettle. Can you be alone with your thoughts?
And that's what I've
I
been.
don't think people can.
Not a lot of people, but not, and especially not for a prolonged period of time. I think anybody can even if they were forced to, right?
We're having a mental health discussion, which we should be having.
Well, but I think that's
what we should do, a mental health podcast.
It's people interacting with one another and what we gained from that. So what do we value in our friendships versus just like our acquaintances or people we work with? And how does that enhance our lives? What makes having that camaraderie better than just doing it all alone? So we see what people, what we can build when we get construction crews together and stuff. We build these mighty buildings and stuff. So we see the camaraderie can work, but how's that look in like the more personal, non-tangible form?
People do not like group projects.
But when it comes to like friends, what are you looking for that will add benefit to your life? Like for me, I know I value people that I can talk to like this and have these discussions with and not get written off or, oh, can we just talk about the hockey game? Like, yeah, I'll talk to you about the hockey game all fucking day, but can we also talk about, can we do both? Most
people don't have the emotional capacity to do that with you.
Right.
Because you're a lot.
Right. So that's what I'm saying is one of the things I value are people that do at least have the capacity to do that and see the value in doing it. Because it's not always just for me. As we stated at the beginning of this show, I'm hoping that everybody that's currently involved, whether you're listening or recording or whatever, is benefiting in some way or form from thinking about these things and assessing.
I struggle to regulate my emotions and act out and lash out, sometimes in a violent way that is quite freaky.
Alarming to people, right?
Yeah. Even to your own self when you're analyzing your behavior, like, why did I just why did I just almost swing on that person?
Mm-hmm. And that's where I don't want to get anywhere near.
Yeah, you want to avoid that shit.
But one of the things that I know
some people are trouble, and you're out there being social with people all day.
But yeah, and the other thing though is once I'm caught up in a moment like that, I think I engage too much, and I don't know how to properly de-escalate. Mm-hmm. Right? So once a person starts getting all worked up with me, I'll start getting worked up with them, and then again back to the World War III. We're seeing this, and this is like a hybrid episode now. But we are seeing, this is
like lamb and tuna fish.
Yeah, people want to keep goading each other on.
Yep.
Until somebody.
I'll push a button or two.
Right. Yeah. So this is one of the things that I'm currently conscious of that I don't want to be a character trait in myself, and I feel like I've gotten better at not doing that with people I love or consider friends. I might struggle with it with the asshole that's screaming out his car window at me or waving a gun at me or something like that. I might engage with them. But like with my friends or the people that I love, I'm trying to not do that. So like in the most recent example, this person said, they get all up in my face, chest pumped and everything. Like, I'm going to beat the fucking shit out of you. Like, fuck you. Like, all this shit. And I'm just like, no, you're not. And I get to the point where I'm just like yelling, like screaming, no, you're not. You know what I mean? But that was, again, with how quickly things escalated, the best thing that I could come up with to not engage too much. You know what I'm saying? I'm just just trying to shut down the idea or the thought of it, as opposed to I'd like to see you try or go ahead or fuck you, like any of that shit. But it's still a struggle, and so that's something that I'm sure I've done to a lot of people that don't have the emotional capacity to tolerate my bullshit, and has pushed them away, which is why I have what I consider a very, very small circle of friends compared to most people. But that's me.
Very self-aware of you.
Yeah, that's me. But I'm also, it's like a double-edged sword though, because like I'm aware that this will wear some people down, but almost in a way I'm just like, all right, they weren't cut out for this shit. You know what I mean? They weren't cut out for this crew.
This is real thug life stuff.
Well, like if you're going to be a ride or die, I need to know that we're on the same page about like real issues, because
they have families, they have all types of other circumstances and shit.
Right. Yeah. Because if shit really does hit the fan, because I joke about this with people, and I even said it to somebody recently, and they were like,
he's the out of town bad boy.
You would get torn apart. I said, if I would almost thrive in an anarcho or dystopian society, and this person said that you would just get torn apart immediately, and I didn't get, they're like, you would just get killed and like raped or whatever, and I was like, all right, well I was like,
I would get raped.
And
his pretty face.
and I'm thinking like that's where I would the gloves are off, baby, and that's where I would. It's a weird kind of warped Fantasyland way of looking at things, but I would want to consider who's in my crew in that moment, because I need to know that I can trust you to accomplish a task. I need to know that you can trust me for your safety. I know we need to trust each other that we are going to keep each other alive through whatever gets thrown at us. And so here we are sitting in this nice air-conditioned little studio, and we don't have
82 degrees.
It's I was looking for the thermostat a little while ago.
And they left the TV on. It's just generating heat on me.
So
nothing playing.
But it's a luxury.
Who's paying the electric bill around here?
Right? And I've said this to family that I've been in arguments with. It is an absolute luxury that we can sit here and worry about our feelings.
We are in such a position of power and privilege and prosperity, and we can do so much to change the world.
The fact that we get to sit here in this little studio and talk about our feelings and friendship and stuff
which is why we started doing this. Yeah.
So yeah, that's I want to know that I can count on people, and I want to know that I can count on them in the most extreme circumstances and the smaller circumstances, like what we're discussing now and on other episodes and stuff. This is, again, it's all Mickey Mouse bullshit. This is small. So if you don't have the emotional fortitude to handle this, then I'm sorry. I'm sorry. And I hope the world never, gets that bad, but we'll cover that in we'll cover that in the World War III episode. So it's more heavy on my mind sometimes. I just want to know that there's people I can count on. And then, because if I can't count on you for these small things, then are you really contributing to my life? Or are you
Who
just
gets the time?
Or is this just our relationship's more of an acquaintance relationship? I'm the funny guy that you like to hang out with every once in a while to dick around with, but you're not going to be there to help me move,
Well, do they have a truck?
You got to keep the friends that have trucks.
Oh my God. Those are the best ones. For those situations too, and that's how and I don't think that's too much to ask, T. I don't think you're asking for too much. And the world has showed you that should be possible. That could be possible. Just got to go out there and meet the next, right? Do you feel you've met your soul friend, or is this your crew?
I don't have much of a crew at the moment. So there's a few.
Have you met anybody since you've moved out here?
On my own? Not really, which sucks.
Yeah, you got brought into my circle.
But I
have a shitty circle of friends.
Well, and see, that's also something that I've been reflecting on as well, though. It's funny that you bring that up because I think it's important. Through this whole inner journey that I've been taking, I realized that over the years, I spent a lot of time with a lot of people that were at the time really great friends. We loved each other, all that stuff. But looking back on it, they're not here anymore. So I'm struggling with the idea that like you can be friends with people for only a temporary amount of time, and then it's over and you move on and you find other ones, versus having a core, right? Or do you just constantly, is life like that? You're just constantly transitioning from a smaller group of people to another smaller group of people, and there's some overlap here and there, but what do I want? What's my interpretation of what a friend should be? And I like to think that I'll always be there for anybody, but to an extent. You can't abuse me. So, and I think it's important. But I wonder, what else is there that we should consider in a friend? Because this is all like all of my ideas kind of riff off of that original thought that I shared in episode 36. You got a friend in tea. Like my definition goes with Seneca's, and Seneca's definition of friendship is a person with whom you'd share things that you'd only share with yourself. So that inner monologue, letting other people hear it. That the people that get to hear your inner monologue are people that, at least by that definition, would be considered friends. They're not just that person you work with. They're not that person you get together with for game night once a month. Those are just like, it's weird. But like and this is me just being a weird person. I see that like as equivalent to taking the dogs to the dog park, going golfing and stuff like that, with your golf buddies. Like if you never actually get down beyond that surface level.
I love golfing.
Oh, yeah. No. Don't get me wrong. It's great. But, like, I would rather enjoy golfing with people that I know I can joke around with or have a serious conversation with. And that's the thing. I like to have the conversations that we're having. Like, we could have this while golfing.
No, actually, you can't.
Well.
No, when you're golfing. Golfing, you got to concentrate. It's not a very, like, let's talk.
Well, and that depends on who you're with. For me, I'm terrible at golfing. Yeah. So I'm just going to go out there.
I got the Top Golf membership.
I'm going to drive the little fucking cart around, and I'm going to yuck it up. I'm not good at it. We're going to be here all day watching my ass fucking go.
You're a hockey player.
8 on a fucking par 3. So
no, I've putted with you in the back. You'll figure it out eventually.
I can't drive the ball off the tee. That's the problem.
Swinging a stick and hitting a ball.
Chipping and the putting.
Surprised at how much power you have when you're not trying to knock the cover off the ball.
The chipping and the putting is fine. It's the driving. It's the driving.
Do you want to hit Top Golf? I got the membership.
Well, you might need to do it.
They open at 9 a.m.
Sweet.
I've already gotten my money's worth.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, especially since it's not terribly far for you.
Starting to learn the staff's name. I've had a different server every time, but thinking about the whole making friends thing.
Yeah.
How do you make friends that are wholesome, that are beneficial, that will help you, right?
And vice versa.
And are we doing...
That's the important part, vice versa.
Are you out in where you need to be to meet someone? Do you...
Well, me currently, no. That's one of the things that I struggle with is doing what I do and everything. I'm just very isolated. I mean, I engage with a lot of people, but we're keeping it professional here, so we're not going to be fraternizing with the clientele.
Right.
So I try.
They can leave a card. And
if they're welcome. See, that's the thing. That's the thing. You leave your number or whatever, or
right.
Yeah, for
that's how it should go.
Yeah, you don't want to show up somewhere and have your server.
So it's not like you're
hitting on you
or somebody. Yeah.
You know what I mean? You don't want to show up to a business and have them. You're there for business, and they start hitting on you. No, come on.
But
if you want to hit on
work
them,
is a great place to hook up and meet people.
Right. Under the right circumstances, right? But it's
where else are you going to meet them?
But if
it'll work.
But if you're trying to engage in business,
next thing you know, you're breaking up a marriage,
right? Yeah, and the service provider is the one that's trying. That's what's annoying. So that's because it's like a power position. You know what I mean? Yeah. And you don't. That's just sleazy in my opinion. So
you know what? I respect that about you. That's
it's sleazy. I don't.
You're a gentleman. You're a gentleman.
I try to be.
You try to be.
Yeah, that doesn't mean I can't be horribly nasty, but that's.
You still paying for their meal?
I haven't paid for a meal in such a long time. Well, when the uncle fucker recently visited, there were a couple meals paid for. But it went both ways. She actually paid for the most expensive one.
I would hope so.
I'm owed more than the goddamn duck, if you're listening.
You think she's listening?
No.
Who do you think does listen? What are our numbers?
Don't even look anymore. Don't even care.
Well, we were at the hundreds at one point, yeah.
Well, Instagram is like my barometer anymore, so.
Most of my friends say they start it and they don't finish it.
Right. Well, and that's the problem. So what are we doing that they...
So we're right now. We're during time where they're not listening. So.
Right.
If you've made it this far.
If you made it this far, you're still wondering when are they going to get to talking about friends?
I disagree.
No, I'm fucking with you. I'm fucking with you. No.
What else do we need to say about?
Well, what about you? What do you? I want to hear what you. Because in addition, the one last point I wanted to make was,
I'm just a rambling old fool.
Was while we want people in our lives that can benefit us, yes. It's such an interesting dance because we're also benefiting them in ways and not necessarily the same ways. They could be benefiting us in certain areas of our life while we're benefiting them in other areas of their life, right? It's a mutually favorable transaction if you care to look at it that way, but I hope that people wouldn't. So yeah, I think that's it, and it's amazing that we are able to do that so that we're not slamming our heads into each other like mountain goats, right? We can find some common ground and get along. So back to what about you? What's important for you in what you would consider a friend?
Yeah, I remember in episode 37,
36 or 37, somewhere around there. One of them ends in 6 and one of them ends in 7.
I ran through the list of grievances that I had committed against some of my oldest friends, and we apologized. We made amends for it at that point. It was and I'm happy to say that the universe has gifted me some of the best friends that I could have ever asked for. I think part of it keeps me here in Arizona.
Yeah,
and But anywhere I've ever been able to go, and I've traveled all over the world, I always make friends. I always connect with somebody.
Yeah.
And I always pass them a little business card and I say, Catch the Sky podcast, right? And
This is why we have listeners in Nepal.
yeah, we got a listener in Nepal. I love Nepal. Fucking Nepal is just, go there. If you have a chance, if you're listening to this, go to Nepal. It's the most beautiful country. Your money will extend well beyond. Beyond.
Sometimes I'm wondering if
You'll walk around like a king.
Listening to our podcast in these other countries is counting it as listenership. So it's really just you. It's just you. Our listeners in China, you. Our listeners in Egypt, you. Our listeners in fucking wherever.
I think that's this is my problem because and this is why I love the podcast and I love that this is our art, right? Mm-hmm. Because we're bigger than just primary friends. We have friends all over the world, and and there are other parts of the world where we would be treated much better than we would be now, right? And so I don't know if this is an American thing culturally, and how we do friendship here in the United States, kind of the cultural norms of how we conduct ourselves.
Right. We could do a whole.
You've traveled to Europe, so
the deep dive that we could do on how like Puritan and like weird some of the shit that we do here is
Puritans.
But it's just like
the P word.
It's a
pussy.
It's like an inability to grow or change from old ways. Like it was just perfect then, and it's like the world's fucking changing, man. You got to get with the times.
Bob Dylan.
That doesn't mean you need to chop your dick off, but you gotta get with the times.
Isn't that freedom though?
It's for the people that want to do that. Sure, that doesn't mean you have to.
Just don't ring up the healthcare register. Like let's.
Yeah.
This is why we can't have socialized medicine.
Yeah.
I mean,
the whole thing's a goddamn.
We would abuse it. We would abuse the shit out of it for unnecessary mental procedures.
Right. Which is just more evidence of how fucked up our culture is versus
that's
others.
The thing. That's why we're shooting each other, though. This is the other problem, is that we're actually willing to go out and conduct horrible violence. We're willing to throw Molotov cocktails on people. We're willing to...
Like, part of me likes to think that if, like you said, if we were somewhere else, things would just be different. Not that we would be any more or less successful or anything like that, but just the way that we feel about our neighbors and the people that we spend our time with would just be different. Everything does feel very transactional in this country, right? It's always somebody's wasting their time, or I spent this much to get over here, or blah, 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 instead of just wanting to be around that person because of their company and the memories that you create, because ultimately that's all this life is about.
Relationships matter.
Right.
100%.
So you and I got to be, I mean, you in particular, I was already going, but you got to be the benefactor of this whole situation, and we got to go see the Halsey concert together.
Yes.
Bang, bang, bang. Which was, we haven't discussed that on here yet. That was a good experience.
We've had a few concerts, haven't we? But yeah, Halsey,
that was the most recent one. I don't think we've discussed that one.
The venue, I always forget the name of it because it was Blockbuster Desert Sky Pavilion, as I knew it.
Right, yeah.
Ashley.
The outdoor pavilion in the area that I consider Glendale, but is actually technically still Phoenix, way west out there. Yeah, so it was there.
It's the
Talking Stick Resort.
Yeah, I was going to put some spice on it.
Oh.
I was going to say it.
Well, just since we're discussing the name, I do want to go back to its previous name, which was Auction Pavilion or whatever, or blah, blah, blah. The whole auction thing is a real missed opportunity in marketing, because it should be action. Because this is where the action's at. Duh. Our contact email is on our social media page in case any potential marketers want to get a hold of me.
That's not bad. Yeah, we got dibs.
I am chock full of ideas. Just give me something to work with.
I don't know why America's economy is faltering. World War III.
But we got to enjoy that concert together, which was an experience. I had a great time.
I had some moments with Halsey post-COVID, which also correlates to some of our best moments post-COVID. When you,
yeah, we were on a roll those years.
You tore through town, blazing a trail all across the country. You got into a fight in Montana.
Almost.
It was episode 4.
But I think it might have been 6. Parking lot conspiracy theorists.
Parking lot conspiracy gets into
but we didn't get into a fight.
There's an example of would this guy have put a bottle over T's head?
And he an ex skinhead. And he didn't.
You guys talked.
And he didn't. And we ended up getting along by the end of the episode.
You did. You found peace.
It literally, that's a microcosm of how I describe myself. First impression. Some people might be pissed. What the fuck is going on here?
You cursed his dog.
I did.
His dog was his best friend in the world.
I said, "There's a fucking dog next to me," and looking back on it, I probably shouldn't have parked next to a motorhome with my windows down and start recording a goddamn podcast. Right. I'm literally sitting in my car with a laptop open and a microphone. So when the guy came out all bleary-eyed and I told him I was recording a podcast and he's saying, like, "No, he's like, no, you're fucking not." I don't blame him. Like, looking back on it, I don't blame him because who does that?
Right. He was completely, and he kind of realized maybe the potential for error or either way.
Yeah.
It led to a discussion.
Right.
And honestly, and sometimes you have to go through that with people and hug it out in the end. And forgive.
Hugging's fine.
And forgive, right? And I think a lot of people struggle, especially in your life, with the forgiveness part.
For sure.
Do you forgive them?
There are most people. Yeah.
What about your buddy who just came out here?
I in the moment said, if you can say sorry.
Dick Don Daly.
Yeah. Throwback.
What would you say to Dick Don Daly?
I would say that even in that moment of heightened emotion, I had enough fortitude to offer an olive branch. It was if you can say sorry, we can get past this. Okay? Because this is not an instance where I should be saying sorry. I've been conditioned by a lot of the people, as we've discussed through the events of this episode. I've been conditioned to always be the one that has to apologize for doing something wrong. I'm always doing something wrong. That's why I got hit. I did something wrong. That's why I got stabbed in the leg. I did something wrong. That's why I got a bottle broken on my head. It's never the other party's fault. You know what I mean? And as we discussed, like, okay, if I don't pour water on somebody potentially gets a broken nose or a fracture or a concussion. I've gotten punched in the face. I got punched in the face by an 80-pound girl that I let punch me again. This was a different scenario. Totally different set of circumstances.
We have that on video.
While drunk. No, we don't.
Is that the Wendy's employee that assaulted you?
No. Oh. No. I said when I was drunk. That's when I was working. But I was drunk at a party, and this small... I had the Kraken spiced rum. That was one of my go-tos. Oh, I love it.
Also a hockey team.
Mm-hmm. Now it is.
In Seattle.
So I wanted to release the Kraken, I wanted to release the Kraken on the party, and I poured shots for everybody. Everybody's doing the Kraken, right? And this one chick is like, "Nah, I can't do that." She's like, I'll get sick. And I'm like, I looked at her like cockeyed, kind of like I do when people tell me they don't like Southern Comfort. I'm like, the fuck are you talking about? Oh, I had a bad experience on Southern Comfort. Yeah, and I've had a million good ones. Doesn't mean there were a few bad ones sprinkled in there, but don't deny yourself. And to the audience, I do not drink anymore, only on the most of special occasions. But
it's probably for everybody's best interest.
Yeah, back when I did, I was doing things like encouraging this girl who didn't want to take another shot to have more alcohol. And if she does get sick for any reason, she is welcome to come back and punch me in the face. So she took the shot, promptly went to the bathroom, was sick, and then came back out. And she's like, "See, dude, like now I don't feel good, and I just want to go to bed." Like, and I'm like, "All right, well then, a deal's a deal." And I leaned down, and I swear she was only like, she was under 100 pounds. She was a very small girl, and I let her punch me, and she punched me right in the fucking face. And I knew even in my stupor that.
Do you think the ladies like that? Do you think they love just?
I don't know.
Just punch me in the. Take your best shot.
Yeah, they might like the opportunity to do it once.
That's a question, ladies. If given the opportunity, would you?
Yeah, especially knowing that nothing bad's going to happen.
Would you take a swing? Oh, you could break their wrist or something.
Well, yeah, they could hurt themselves. Yeah. So she got me, and I knew something was not quite right. My face, from my eye down to my chin, was numb for 6 months. And after talking to,
clubbed you.
A friend of mine's father, who was a surgeon, he told me that the most likely cause of that was a small fracture to, your occipital, whatever, basically my eye socket.
Right.
A small fracture in my eye socket basically led to that. And so, I was all fucked up. Probably, again, had a concussion. I don't know.
Damn.
Yeah. So was I going to sit there and watch that happen to a friend of mine, potentially, a woman? So that happened to me. And again, throughout this episode, hockey player, blah, 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 blah.
Already got enough hits to the head.
Yeah. Am I going to watch that happen to a woman?
No, I'm not.
Did I consider a friend? No. So it's hard for me to wrap my head around the idea that throwing water on somebody that was about to commit an act of violence makes me the bad guy. But I am. And so that's what I mean. And that goes back to my point.
This is the Scarface scene, Tony Montana.
I'm always conditioned to be the one that has to apologize for something. And in this instance, I didn't need to apologize.
Right.
I offered an opportunity to apologize and was told to go fuck myself. So, it's...
you guys wear thin on each other's nerves.
Right, yeah. But it took a lot for me to even do that. Like, hey, if you can say sorry, we can come to a resolution here.
You got abandoned by your crew here too, right?
What, here? No. Well, no, I left. I just went home after that. It was me and the dog, so I was just like, you know what?
What, you think he listens?
Listens better than most people.
Okay.
Frank's the best. Frank's a good boy. Frank's a ride or die. I know I could count on Frank in the apocalypse, and that's why he's in the circle.
Frank will jump all over you. It's and T is like an exact. It's like people are like their dogs, and T will test all your emotional boundaries.
Yes,
and that can be a lot for people.
Yeah,
and I think you shouldn't feel like you're meant to be apologized, but I know you're self-aware enough to know that you do that.
Yeah.
And people are going to have the reaction they are going to have, and it's just understanding that and understanding that you're acknowledging and you're sorry too. Like it shouldn't have to apologize, but it's
like I'm sorry.
It's your thing.
Yeah, I don't want to inconvenience you.
It's the disclaimer,
right? But they could also be honest enough. If I'm pushing,
most people aren't emotionally honest.
Right. That's
you're helping to facilitate conversation about emotions. So thank you.
Well, that's what I want to try to do is I want to try to push people into that. Like, look, you can be honest with me. Like because then I think about it a step farther and I think about how they've been hurt and how their trust has been in other people has been broken. And that's why they don't want to open up to people. They don't want to show their vulnerabilities to somebody that's relatively new to them. Because what if they get hurt again? So I understand that, but I try my best, and this is why I am a lot, is because I want to show people that it's okay. It's okay to just put yourself out there. Not everybody's going to like it. You're not going to be everybody's friend. It's okay. But by doing so, you do find the good ones. At least this is my approach to it.
It's like fishing.
Yeah. You find the good, because if you don't cast that reel out there, then what are you doing?
Life's a garden, dig it.
Yeah.
Philosopher Joe Dirt.
Joe Dirte. Throw a little E on there. Trying to make it fancy sounding.
They want $3.59 for that on Amazon. Wow. If I wanted to watch that, I can't watch it for free unless I have the DVD or tape.
Mm-hmm. That's a whole nother conversation. I've been getting into physical media more, so yeah. I just bought another Super Nintendo.
Your home is your museum ultimately, and you need to get your own home.
Yeah, I do. At some point, it would be.
You need to have your own farm.
I want
right?
I want something out here like that. It's just so fucking expensive still. I'm getting there.
Fuck the world. Go buy yourself some land. Be Dwight Schrute. Be more like Dwight Schrute, y'all.
The only concern is if I go and purchase land, then I got to pay the taxes on it and stuff, and how quickly.
It's expensive too, but it's things. There's more sellers than there are buyers right now. So now the inventory is much higher, but everything's still too high.
That's the thing.
And everybody's right now. There's a thing going on in America because we're in June. Right?
Supply and demand is not
June 25.
No,
and people are holding on to their money, and they've been holding on to their money for the last few months.
Supply and demand is not behaving the way it should be behaving.
Everybody's unsure what's going to happen.
Yeah, so we can hit on that more in the next.
This is part of the run up. Again, World War III is relative because again, you and I have been conditioned.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
I'm a Gen Xer, but you're a millennial, and we've been fed World War III with Russia. Then they tried to replace Russia with the Middle East, and then they replaced the Middle East with China is now the boogeyman, and then Russia's also back to being the boogeyman. And
right, why is there always got to be a boogeyman?
And then you got the North Koreans, and then the Iranians.
So yeah, this is all ramping up to
we're good with Syria right now. We made an amends in the Middle East at the request of the Saudi government and the other Gulf nations, the Qataris.
So yeah, we're picking
the Emiratis.
America is picking some great friends at the moment.
I'm not against peace with any country. People criticized Obama for making peace with Cuba, and they reversed it as soon as they could. And then Trump took that away.
Right. I guess it's the making
in his first term.
It's the making friends with suspicious partners while also talking shit on people that are supposed to already be your friends.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like you're making new friends and talking shit on the ones you currently have. And we all know what happens next in that middle school scenario, right?
Right.
Is you start hanging out with the new friends and your old friends feel sad and dejected. And there's a period where you guys spend your lives apart. And then ultimately, if it's the good old fashioned wholesome Disney movie that we've all been conditioned to.
A lot of people are hoping for that. Yeah.
Is we'll all come back and get together someday.
Meet up in the sky.
Right. Oh, I was just I didn't necessarily mean like that. I meant like here on Earth there would be
people want to live in their fantasy land.
Yeah, but yes.
And we are stuck in our bubbles. And sometimes the rejection of people is our way to just cover up our own. Let me start that thought over.
This is the part of the movie where we are leaving our friends to go hang out with the greasers. Wasn't it? Was it not? What was the movie? Oh my God, the Outsiders, right? With the Outsiders, isn't it?
Were they from Oklahoma?
Yeah, wasn't it isn't it Pony Boy or whatever? He's supposed to be a good kid. Isn't Pony Boy supposed to be a good kid? And then he starts hanging out with the bad kids, and then by the end of the movie, like somebody gets stabbed or some shit. Am I thinking of the right movie?
That's a good plot. Keep going with that.
Yeah. And then ultimately, the idea is that I don't think this movie turns out that way, but like that there's supposed to be a redemption arc, and that you're supposed to come back, and you're supposed to come back to the light side. And I'm not sure that's going to happen in this scenario. Again, maybe we should reserve this more for the next episode.
How would you even edit this out?
Oh, I'm not. I'm not. This is just a primer for anybody that's.
Well, you keep saying that, but yeah, why aren't we having the discussions? What are all these teasers and trailers?
Well, because we got to break and record and start a new intro.
Yeah, but we're never actually going to get there anyway. The focus tonight was friendships mixed with some World War III, right? And I think we've delivered on that.
Well, yeah. I mean, we haven't discussed the potential World War III part. Only has its kind of related,
which is why friendships matter.
International affairs, yeah. International policy and relationships are important if we're comparing them to friendships,
right?
But I guess the other stuff I wanted to cover is more meat and potatoes kind of stuff with what's happening domestically and where we could potentially go next, because this Project 2025 playbook is just playing out like a dream. So
there's always so things are always rough initially, right? Could we agree that new change is never easy if the system is designed to be successful? Because that's the promise.
No,
right?
the system is designed. This is why I'm saying we should.
This is their plan.
We should start another conversation here in a minute about this, because it's different from friendship, because now it's going to get into
because we're going to go fully down the hole.
Yeah, it's going to be a whole separate tangent.
Jesus, yeah, there's no room for friendship with fascists.
I don't think in the context that we're talking about. So I think it'd probably be a good place to wrap for these fine folks that have already listened to us this long.
Hell yeah. All right, I'm with that.
All right. So if you didn't enjoy this episode, feel free to leave a comment, let us know what we could do better or
I think this
worse.
was an honest episode, D.
I had fun. Yeah, this is great.
Yeah. How do you feel?
This is good. I feel like we need to turn some lights on and keep things going.
I like the darkness.
I'm embracing the darkness.
The sun is setting. It's 8:00 and the sun is disappearing from the sky.
Yeah.
We'll probably be mosquitoes potentially, more flies.
Yeah. No, the flies go away at night.
Okay.
There's no. Yeah, the flies go away at night. They're out.
How are the plants doing?
We can go check up on it. So while we go do that, this has been Safe and Sweet Tea of the Catch the Sky podcast. You can find us on Spotify, Instagram, YouTube, wherever podcasts are available. Be sure to subscribe for updates whenever we release new episodes. Recommend us to your friends even. Be daring.
Right. Or listen with intent.
Right. That's
Actually,
the most important thing.
This is honestly, I guess, for the folks who are some of our ride or dies.
Yeah. It would be nice to get the message to more people.
You hung in there. Hey, thank you.
But this is ultimately for the ones that
this was real.
They want to keep doing this. So thank you. And until next time, keep trying to catch the sky.